Right then, I only disagree with the FA Cup. All right, let's come and celebrate our our Kiptum, who are unlike
our Manchester City.
Unlike Arsenal, he's actually running for something. He broke the record. This is one Kelvin Kiptum in London, which I think for me, both at the Boston and at in London, despite, and we'll talk about that in terms of one King Kipchoge, Eliud, but I think that Kelvin Kiptum there, who is 23, that, you see that? Your age, you're in a encouragement, sana. This one has another good, if you're using Eliud Kipchoge as a yardstick, another good 10, 12 years to ply his trade to grow. And if this is him now, you can imagine, you know, as he continues to grow, and of course structures continue to change in the country and everything, what he'll be doing. This could be the name we are talking about, and our children's children are talking, okay, our children are talking about moving forward. What do you think, Sila?
I'm happy for him. He is the future. Remember, this is just his second marathon.
Yes.
I think before attacking this record, many had believed that Eliud's records would stand for eternity.
Right.
Yeah, but remember, Eliud is still the world record marathon holder. The one he set in Berlin course last year, 2022. But Kiptum is just 18 seconds shy of that. Of course, the course record in London came tumbling down. I think that's the fastest time we've seen a sprinter dash to the tape. And you could see at the tail end of it, he too was lost for words, he was lost for breath. But I think I'm happy for him. He's just 23. Kipchoge, remember, is 38. So that's a 15-year gap. So I think there's a lot of positivity to pick from that race. Remember, Geoffrey Kamworor is another man who was in that race, another good hope for Kenya. So even as others think that it's time for Eliud Kipchoge to hand over the baton, I think it won't be given on a silver platter. These young men must come out and show we are made of this and we can do it. There's a lot of one needs to really have a lot of mental strength to endure a very tough course. You saw what even went on in Boston and, of course, London back-to-back. Actually, in Boston, everybody thought Eliud Kipchoge was going to win this. He was the pre-race favorite. And remember, for Kipchoge, his desire has been, let me win all the Abbott majors. He's won Chicago, he's won Tokyo, he's won Berlin a couple of times, he's won London. So he wanted to win Boston and probably go crown it all with the New York. But of course, having lost in Boston, that's a bump on his CV. But I'm sure he's going to work on it. People shouldn't just write him off just yet. Remember, in all the 12 marathons Eliud has competed in, he's won all of them except 2 now. And of course, Boston being the other one. He'll be in Paris next year, again to defend his Olympic title. So remember, if he wins in Paris, it will be a hat-trick of Olympic marathon titles. But going to what happened in London, I think there's every reason to be positive going forward. And Kipchoge, this should actually be a lesson to him that even going to Paris next year, he's going to face a lot of competition. Yeah, but I don't think Kipchoge, it's not yet over for Kipchoge.
Yeah.
Guys shouldn't write him off yet. He's still in the game.
He's still in the game, and I think even for him, watching, despite not winning, and maybe you can, you know, now that we're already talking about him, despite not winning, him watching the others, you know, go out there and still win, despite, if you watch that post-press conference, it was actually very heated, some people trying to get at him, but he stood his ground. So I think, do you agree, Shitera, that we should not write off the king?
I think, indeed, we should not write him off yet because the same thing happened last year when he faltered at the London Marathon and then came back very strong at the Commonwealth. So it's very difficult to write off such a guy who has great experience in those courses. But again, what gives me happiness is that even as some of the people who will want to write him off there is a great potential of replacements. We only pray that such talents will not go through injuries, as Kamoror put it yesterday, because you were asking where is Kamoror, but again, he explained himself after coming in second.
I think we're distance fourth.
Fourth, that injuries have taken a toll on him, and we pray that such a talent will keep off injuries, and these are very, very good prospects to replace the king, Kipchoge. But at his age, let us prepare that he can only do one or two before he is off the track. Yeah, as well as showing me something, Kevin Kiptum produces the second fastest marathon run of all time with an astonishing 2.01 to take the London Marathon ahead of Geoffrey Kamoror. Yeah. Kamoror came in second. And truly, he explained that I've been away due to injuries. And this is our prayer that all these athletes, because remember Kamoror, star was really shining, and we were saying that this is the best replacement for Kipchoge. We are happy we are having another one coming up in Kiptum. So Kipchoge, who really flagged off the marathon, a clear signal that he is really handing over the baton to the young upcoming athletes. And this is the spirit we are really celebrating, that after Kipchoge, we have someone to take over the shoes. They might be big, but the feet are also growing in a drastic manner.
Talking about injuries, I want to wish Bridget Kosgei well, because he dropped out of the race because of the injury, hamstring injury. So I hope she's doing well, and we wish you well. We know in the next marathon you'll be there, so we wish you well.
All right.
Well, I think my take will be, I'll go back to Boston. It was very sad, 2013, when there was a blast in Boston. And I'm so happy to see that Boston has recovered from what happened. And the security detail was quite remarkable in Boston. Coming back to Kiptum, I think the future is bright. I normally say that the individual games at times are normally seen to be perfect in Kenya because of individual, let's say, brilliance or individual effort that are put. And you see that one is quite evident with what Kiptum did. And the age gap for me is also another positive. The fact that the future is bright for Kenya. Kipchoge might be going down as far as his peak is concerned, but the future is promising in Kenya. And I think it's Willa who brought in the 15-year gap. That shows that in the next 15 or so years, Kenya is still safe as far as marathon is concerned. And this should be a wake-up call to the other sports, that when you are coming up with structures, you need to come up with structures that will enable the youth to thrive. Because, for example, in soccer, Olunga may not be there for long, but ask the football, ask the football fraternity that once Olunga exits, who comes in? It's normally just about guesswork, and I'm not good with the guesswork. I think we should be designing the transition of the game. It should not be just by default. It should be by design, and athletics is perfecting that.
All right.
Before we proceed to that, we can have a quick glimpse at Obiri. And again on Kipchoge, baby, a message to Kenyans. I saw a lot of hate, a lot of attack on Eliud Kipchoge.
From Kenya.
From Kenyans on social media.
Crazy.
So you wonder, really, is this how to support our athletes just because he didn't win? This is somebody who's brought a lot of joy to this country. Somebody who's won. Yeah, he's won 10 out of 12 marathons. 10 out of 12. This is the first man to run a marathon under 2 hours. And even the record we're talking about in Berlin, 2 hours, 1 minute and a few seconds. He could have easily dipped it to under 2 hours. So he's somebody whom we need to celebrate. The fact that he didn't win in Boston He's not a license for somebody to attack him. And 2, he owes no one an explanation, whether he finishes the race or not.
Yeah.
It's personal initiative. Yeah? But now let's look at Hellen Obiri. Remember last year I talked about this when she made transition from middle distance to marathon. Actually, she's a queen of 5,000 meters, the best of the best we've had. If you look at those stats, Obiri has basically won gold in every single race in the 5,000. We're talking of Commonwealth. She's a gold medalist. African champion, a gold medalist. You look at the World Championship, she's a gold medalist. And now she was saying, this is the second actually marathon she was racing in. And she said, I wasn't really sure whether I wanted to compete in this race. But it's my handlers, my coach and manager who pushed me to come to Boston. But look at that endurance she had up to the tape to win gold in her second marathon. And this is somebody who was doing middle distance. That again shows you the mentality we are talking about. And this is somebody you're saying now is a global icon. And the least we can do for her is to go back to her village where she comes from in Gusiland. There are lots of talents in that region. Then now we have to look at what do we need to do to produce more Obiris to the world. We have to go to Eliud Kipchoge, where he trains, and look, what can we now do to bequeath his legacy? It's only by having the right coaches, the right facilities for training, so that when these athletes are having a morning jog every single day, we don't want to see those cases where they've been knocked down by a motorbike or a reckless cyclist because we don't have facilities for them. That's where we are as a nation. So even as we take the credit and all the glory on Kamoror and Kiptum and Obiris, we must also look at ourselves in the mirror and tell the government, you haven't really done enough. The success we are having is a result of individual brilliance, as you put it, and the hard work these guys are putting, knowing that this is my only ticket to kick poverty out of my life. In Boston, for instance, the winners took home 20 million.
Minus tax.
That's enough to change your life. One race, you take home
Tax
20 million.
from which government?
Yeah.
From the Kenyan government.
So that tells you.
They tax it.
Yeah, and
They
also
do.
a lesson
What do they do with the
probably
tax?
to parents. Yeah, we need to now change the mentality and see sports as a revenue earner and also look at our sports as a tourism destination. Time and time, I've always talked of bullfighting in Western, which probably no one listens to. Ababu is now the CS. He comes from that region. In Spain, actually, bullfighting earns the state government a lot of revenue. If you look a lot, talk of the beach, beach sport along Lake Victoria. You go all the way to Funyola. You come along the banks of Lake Victoria. Those are potential that the men and women who formulate policy, who manage our sports, haven't thought about, but can do or go a long way in changing.
But Sule, we can give a little bit credit to Athlete Kenya. They have been doing a good job with the grassroots, actually. For me, for example,
Despite not having an election.
despite
Not
not
go well
having
with
an
the
election.
Rocho.
No, despite not having an election.
For 9 years.
For 9 years, they've tried. Like, they've tried, really.
I'm questioning.
Okay, but guys, you need to move to the next thing here, which is rugby. And just we had